Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the Cricket Chat. I hope you're all well. So, today I'm going to be doing a little preview of the Ashes. I'm going to talk about the key areas for both teams and where I think the main battles are going to be for where the series will be won and lost. England's had a couple of warm-up matches against not the best of opposition, but they're doing what you would expect them to do. But I would say one of the pluses from that is the form that Chris Woakes is in at the moment. I think he's got a couple of fifers already, so that bodes well for next Thursday for the start of the series. And another mention that I'll give out is to Stoneman. He's got a couple of half centuries as well, so good to see that them two guys are in form and standing up for the team, really. So, as I mentioned, this video is going to be the key battles where the series will be won and lost. So, obviously, the talk going into the series is both teams have got fragile middle orders, especially. You could say that they've got holes in their batting, both teams. They haven't really got key batting areas nailed down. I would say out of the two teams, England's probably you got the rough idea what they're going to pick. I would suggest the top five will be something like Cook, Stoneman, probably James Vince, Joe Root. I suspect they'll go with Milan, Burstow. So that's probably what England will go with. It's harder to pick for Australia because obviously we're not sure of their squad yet. And there's obviously question marks over the opener as well. And if they're going to have Neville or Wade at wicketkeeper, or maybe someone from left field, maybe Tim Paine, are they going to bring him back in? I know he was in the runs last week in a warm-up match, and I believe he's got a relatively high score in the Sheffield Shield today, so maybe he's can be one that's come from left of field to wicket keep for Australia. But the consensus in the media, at least, I was listening to Adam McGilchrist the other day, and he seemed to think that they'll stick with Wade. And I know, especially a lot of the Aussies from yesteryear, they want to have Glenn Maxwell at number 6. I think there's a bit of a debate if they're going to go with Maxwell, because I don't believe he's been in the runs for a while now. But if they want the all-rounder, another spinner to back up Nathan Lyon, I would suggest that Glenn Maxwell could be a good option as well. Also, we all know about his bat, and he's not called a big show for no reason. He can easily come in and whack a quick 50 off 20 balls or something like that, along with the tail. So, yeah, the other uncertainty about the Australian team is the batting lineup, and if they're going to stick with Matt Renshaw at the top. Obviously, there's a little subplot to that, him being from England originally, but I think he's grew up in Australia mainly, and yeah, that's where his allegiance lie, obviously. And we all know all about the Australian bowling. You know, you got Mitchell Starc, Josh Hazlewood, Cummins, Nathan Lyon, etc., etc. But they've obviously lost James Pattinson. He's not going to be the Ashes. James Faulkner either. So you would think, not to wish injury on anyone, obviously, but common sense would make you think that they're going to lose one of those 3 quicks, which will play into England's hands. But yes, so let's get into the key battles then. Obviously, as I mentioned at the start, it's the batting that we see seem to be fragile with both teams. So obviously the no-brainers is going to be the battles between Mitchell Starc, against Mark Stoneman and Alistair Cook. And then you've obviously got Dave Warner opening. We know what he's about. He goes from it right from the start, doesn't he? So you want to be trying to get him out as quickly as possible. So you'll be looking at the likes of Broad, Anderson, opening up the bowling to get rid of Warner early doors. Then for England, you've got the gun batsmen as in Bairstow, Root, Milan. But they all need to stand up, really, especially against Australia, as we all know. So that's some of the key points. You've also got the likes of Jimmy Anderson, Broad. It doesn't get much easier after you get out Dave Warner. You've got Ujman Khawaja, probably about number 3, and then Steve Smith. Are they going to go with Hanscom as well? That's another option they've got. So it's definitely going to be intriguing to see the little subplots and then the battles, obviously. And then you've got James Vince as well at number 3. If we lose an early wicket, can he hang in there? Can he bat for periods of time against Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins charging in? Maybe one of the Marsh brothers will play as well, who knows? But it's definitely going to be interesting, and it's definitely going to be well worth a watch. But that's the key battles that I see in where the Ashes will be won and lost. I would obviously say that England's got the better batting order, as in it's more settled, and you can probably name it. I wouldn't really say there's a lot in the bowlers, because for me, Mitchell Starc and Stuart Broad are very similar. When I've seen Mitchell Starc in the past, I know he's improved tenfold, but he seems to be more of a rhythm bowler like what Stuart Broad is. If they get in a roll, they can easily get 5 for 20 or something like that, as we've seen over the years with Broad. So I would say that they're pretty much a similar level. And then you've obviously got Jimmy Anderson. He doesn't really do well in Australia, does he? I think he struggles with that red kookaburra ball, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. And obviously, the loss of Ben Stokes, how's that going to pan out for the team? But I think if England's going to win, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Moeen Ali, not just because of his batting, but as we know, a spinner's always handy in Australia. Yeah, they've got one of the world's best in Nathan Lyon. So we'll have to see how Moeen gets on. I think this is going to be a big series for him. And not that he's got to prove himself, but he's done it in England. But now's his chance to really make himself a worldwide cricketer and potentially win an Ashes for England. Anyway, that's my players to highlight and what I think the key battles will be. There will be quite a lot more videos coming up, so stay tuned for them. Potentially a few videos with some other guys as well that run other cricket channels, so keep your eye out for those as well. And thanks for listening. I shall see you again one day this week with another video. Don't forget to like the channel and subscribe. That'd be great. Thanks for watching.